There are two types of games released for the Wii. Proper actual games like Mario Kart, Twilight Princess and Smash Bros. For example. Then you have shovelware like Billy the Wizard, Sid the Dummy, and Imagine Fashion Idol, just to name a few. So when searching for some baseball games on the Wii that weren't the obvious choices, I stumbled across something I wish I hadn't that quite easily could be classed as cursed. Let me introduce you to Doala De Wii, a game based on the Chunichi Dragons mascot that firmly sits in the shovelware camp and one I wish I never found. Fun fact I learnt while trying to research this excuse of a game, Doala being a koala and not a dragon as the mascot is due to them being popular in Nagoya where the team is based. This is because the first koalas arrived in Japan in Nagoya in 1984. Thanks MPB Reddit for that nugget of information. Starting off in Doala's room, you can use the Wiimote to click on various objects including the mascot himself. He'll react to being touched in 7 different areas, but I wasn't going to test that theory. Touching certain objects will give you one of 3 media pieces: a photo, an animation, or a video. I guess you could say the goal of the game is to collect them all, which I wasn't actually prepared to do because of how you acquire the rest once you obtain everything else in the room. Touching the TV lets you select between 9 minigames to play, each with their own level of jank and varying levels of fun, and this is how you get more unlockables which can be found in the album on the bookshelf, so let's go through each one. Acrobatics. Here you have to clap the Wiimote to build up the gauge at the top before Doala attempts his backflip he performs at home games in the 7th inning. Once the clapping ends, you have to spin in a circle to keep doing back handsprings until he goes for the backflip attempt, which then you have to press A at the right time to land. Considering these games are incredibly simple, for whatever reason this is the only game I struggled with, mainly the clapping at the start. On the plus side, it does mean I get to see him crash on the floor often, so I count that as a win. Do and range. Try to catch Doala by shaking the Wiimote to speed up and move out the way of the objects he throws at you. Once you catch him, time your button press to try and hit his tail. Incredibly boring, and thankfully I hit his tail for a home run on the first time I played it, so I never had to go back to it. Entertainment pitching. Time flicking the Wiimote when the white lines intersect over the target to throw the ball and help Doala get hits. Starts off easy, but it feels like there's a delay from you doing the action and it registering in the game, so it is another frustrating experience. You also have to make sure that he's actually facing you as he randomly turns around, otherwise he'll just miss and it makes this even more annoying. Salute. I had to read the instructions for this one 3 or 4 times to see what I was doing wrong. According to the instructions, you either raise or lower the flags called out by the mascots on either side of Doala. If you can read Japanese, that's great, and to be fair there is only 3 possible phrases they say. But it also does mention you can look for Doala for help. That's actually the only thing you need to pay attention to. Copy what he does and do not bother looking at anything else. This explanation is more fun than actually playing a round of this. Secret action, one more stage. Using the same stage as the secret action post-matching game, which I'll get to in a second, aim the Wiimote and shoot Doala as he appears in the windows, making sure not to hit the other mascots. This is essentially a rip-off of one of those stages from Point Blank. Dooring. Guide Doala towards the target, avoiding obstacles and picking up bread to help with braking. Tilting the Wiimote back and forward will slow or speed him up, and left and right will allow you to move him. Frustrating until you realise everything follows the same pattern each time, so the only challenge is actually braking early enough. It's just like doing a license test in Gran Turismo. Secret action. Find matching pairs of Doala poses hidden throughout the windows within the time limit. The more stages you complete, the more windows unlock and start to get added to the mix. You would think this is simple, but for whatever reason, once it got to the later levels, half the poses all started to look the same with very minimal differences. Not that it matters anyway, as this was a waste of time playing this. Dash and rush. Run the bases while being chased by a samurai, dodging attacks by flicking the Wiimote left and right. The more bases stepped on, the more points earned. Another easy game that's super boring, with the only challenge coming from when the samurai jumps in the air, and you have to look at his shadow to determine where he'll land. Bushido Spirit. Attack and defend against the samurai to rack up points. Successfully defending at the right time will give you bread. When full, you can then use a special attack, which is useful against Doala, who will appear randomly. There's a bit of skill involved in blocking attacks and trying not to hit the other mascots, which will lose you your life. Or you can just constantly swing and take samurais down, as they don't attack for a few seconds every time a new one spawns, which makes this game pretty broken. If you decided that playing the games has been too much fun, and I mean who wouldn't think that was such a stellar selection, or you just want to take a break, you can always select channels 11 or 12 on the TV to watch a music video of the theme song I Am Doala. Why it's on there twice, I have no idea, but I unfortunately had to watch them both just to confirm that. Thankfully there isn't anything on channel 10 unless it unlocks later, which I'm not prepared to find out, plus it was giving me the Ring vibes. As mentioned, doing well in minigames will unlock more content in the album. 2 out of the 3 menus are interesting for different reasons. The photo gallery is not one of them. Here you can view any unlocked photos you have. You can't do anything else with them, though I guess you could technically screenshot them and print them out if you're a diehard fan who needs more Doala on your walls. I am not one of those people though. Next is the animation gallery. Here you can add unlocked animations to a timeline to play out in a loop to the theme song and can change the background colour to your liking. Apart from there being the odd funny animation, I don't know why anyone would ever use this, especially for how long the song goes on for. Finally is the video gallery. This contains short videos of Doala doing various things, ranging from looking after a stuffed cat in a cabbage field to him offering me a drink, I think. Some of these I literally have zero idea what I'm watching, and the terrible green screening makes it all the more unsettling. On one hand, these are also weird that I want to see more of them, but that also does mean I'd have to play more of the games, which I'd really rather not have to put myself through again. Overall, this bare bones collection of poorly implemented minigames is not worth playing unless you really like Doala or enjoy playing absolute trash. Maybe there's some hidden gems in the video or photo gallery to find, but I've spent too much energy already not only playing this game, but making the video to go over it too. Basic graphics, basic gameplay when it functions correctly, and minimal replayability make this one of the worst games I've ever played. Is this because I'm a massive Super Kuro fan and I'm being biased? Who knows? Try it out for yourself if you want, but don't say I didn't warn you. But that's it for this one. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video and leave a comment below if you like Doala. I hope you all enjoy whatever you're playing, and I'll catch you in the next one.